Hello, everybody. It is me, Lady Hell, and I'm so excited because we just got through this book called People Person, and it is true to the name. And when you get to the end of the book, you actually find out why the name is what it is of the book. So we're gonna go into chapters, I believe 2 through 5, because we did chapter 1 already. We started off, we got introduced to the 5 main characters of this book. We're going to be introduced to some different characters along the way. So as y'all know from chapter 1, these are 5 brothers and sisters who have one thing in common, and now we're going to find out, outside of course, Sybil, which is their dad, bringing them together. We're gonna find out how they begin to come close, and how this book also addresses a lot of issues that we even see every day with different individuals having what they would call like daddy issues, or having commitment issues, things of that nature. So, chapter 2. In chapter 2, I really should just do a whole video on chapter 2, but chapter 2, Dimple, she breaks up with her boyfriend, okay? And so Dimple is the more sensitive of all her brothers and sisters. She's very cognizant of things, what people say. She internalizes things just like many of us do in real life. So she's a real internalizer, but she also has difficulties choosing her mate in her relationships. So Dimple, baby, okay, so she breaks up with her boyfriend Kyron, and they've been together for 3 years. She is a sexually active, and just to, spoiler alert, this chapter 2, it talks about intercourse and different things of that nature. So basically, we start off chapter 2, we get to see Kyron's, Dimple's boyfriend, and how it almost could seem like the boy got a mental problem or something. But he's nice, he's mean, he's nice. They have this off and on relationship, and this time she was done with Kyron. She was like, we're not gonna be together anymore. I don't want you, all that good stuff. So Kyron comes over. She tells him, hey, I don't want to be with you. They end up making out, and you know what I mean when I say they end up making out. So they end up making out and everything, and then they get into it. Kyron falls on the back of his head. When Kyron falls on the back of his head, honey, he started bleeding, and it almost looked like Kyron is dead. I thought Kyron was dead, and I'm reading like, I said, I know we ain't getting to the climax in the second chapter. So this is all part of what we call the rising action. You may ask me, Lady Hell, what is the rising action? The rising actions are all the events that's going to lead to the climax. And we haven't even touched the climax. We're getting kind of this rising action that's going on. So bam. Okay, she thinks Kyron is dead. So immediately, she hadn't talked to her sister in years. That's Nikisha. She hadn't talked to Keisha in years. So she called Nikisha. Nikisha ended up calling all the other brothers and sisters, and they was like, hey, we got to go take care of something. So they get there. Kyron is on the floor with his head just bleeding, blood spilling all over the place. And they like, oh, we got to get rid of this body. One would think, why don't you call the police? Well, they didn't want to call the police because obviously, just like people of color here in the United States, we don't trust the police. Guess what? They don't trust the police over there in Britain, in the UK as well. So they didn't call the police. They sit there for a while discussing, what they gonna do with this body. And so they was like, yo, we got to get this all cleaned up. We get to learn about the brothers and the sisters, what they've been up to. We end up finding out Danny, he did some time in the PM. Lizzie was in school. Nikisha got 2 kids. Prince, he just like young, free, and wild. He do what he do, and he's a young pimp because he got a lot of girlfriends and whatnot. So anyway, when Dimple ended up filling the post for Kyron, she thought it wasn't there, but she didn't think it was there. So we go forward. We go on to chapter 3, and we begin to learn that Keisha has 2 kids. She has a boy. She has a girl, and the boy stays with his dad, because the dad, Keisha's baby daddy, believes that a boy needs his father and a girl needs his mother, and so that's why the young man, the kid, stays with Keisha's baby daddy during the week, and Keisha has a daughter during the day. Okay, so anyway, we also begin to meet the next door neighbor, which her name is Karen, because Karen come over there being nosy, like, who are all these black people in this house? Where do they come from? Who are they? Right? And so Dimple was like, look, it's just my friends. And Karen was like, girl, you ain't got no friends. Who them black people in your house? Right? So Karen, you got this nosy Karen. She's like being real nosy and stuff, trying to figure out what's going on, but they got to get the body out. So we skip on down to like about chapter 4-ish, and we finally, they's like, okay, let's get this body out of here, because remember, Dimple's mom is on vacation. So they end up getting wrapping him up, right? Not where like suffocate him. They thought he was dead. So they wrapped him up, okay? Because remember, he's lying here the whole time. And then, of course, Dimple's sister, Lizzie, is the more like, why did we not call the police? Why are we wrapping this dude up? And this could ruin all of our lives, all of our careers, because she was in medical school going to be a doctor. So anyway, they wrapped him up, and they was like, okay, where we going to take him? So they literally had to decide, okay, where are we going to take this? Where are we going to take him? Where are we going to dispose? How are we going to dispose of his body? Y'all, when I tell y'all, when I was reading it, I was like, what y'all about to do with the body? Right? And I swear to God, you would have thought that I was watching a Netflix series. I wasn't. But it was a really good book, and I'm reading this like right after church on Sunday. So anyway, I'm sitting up here wondering what they finna do with this body, because they kept arguing among themselves where they're going, what they was gonna do with the body. So anyway, they go to the back of the back of the van, and then and they get out at this place, and they start digging this grave I'm like, man, this some how to get away with murder type stuff, because y'all remember the plot and how to get away with murder. But it didn't go that way, because I was about to stop reading it, honestly, if it went that way, because I was just like, really, we just gonna put how to get away with murder in a thing and make the people black instead of college students? So it didn't go like that, so I don't want you to think that. So anyway, they had the grave dig, and next thing you know, they come back and the body is gone, and they all looking at each other like, did y'all bury him? They was like, no. And then everybody else was like, I thought he was dead. And everybody else was like, he was dead. Did you say you checked this post? We wrapped him up in tarp, and now we cannot find his body. Y'all. Ooh, they couldn't find the body. Tune in to chapter 6, honey, because this is getting good, because you have these people who don't even know each other, and they're being brought together by a common theme, and the common theme is that we got to cover this girl that we've only met maybe a time or two with her dad, and she's our sister, and now we have to help her, and we have to cover her, right? So let's go on to chapter 6. So I'll see you in the next review, and we'll see what happened. If you haven't already, you can go on Amazon, pick up the book. You can also get the audio version if you like me, and I struggle with just reading, because I know I do both. I do both audio books, and I also do I do audiobooks as well as regular books. So either way, it works. So anyway, be sure to go and get that book. Check this out. It's called The People Person. And you're going to see, you be like, y'all talking about murder. How is it about like a people person and stuff like that? But come back with me and then we'll go to chapter 6 and we're going to find out what happened with the body. And we're going to find out how their dad not having their dad around allowed Dimple to make some really bad decisions and do different things and put herself in situations where she always had to end up get covered. And one of the heroes in the story, or the sheroes in the story, is going to be the oldest, and that's Nikisha, because Nikisha don't play no games. She's crazy about her brothers and sisters. She's always protecting them. And many of us, we find ourselves in that situation too, where we're overprotecting. We're protecting our brothers. We're protecting our sisters and whatnot. Just, So, anywho, come back, come through, come join me. I'll be posting it. So stay tuned. All right. I've read the book. But I need to go and record these. And if you haven't already, honey, highlight that subscribe button, press that notification bell. If you're like, I'm not getting your notifications when you go live, Lady Hell, I'm not getting your notifications when I press notify. Well, some of you, inside of your settings, you have to go inside of the settings, inside your phone, and then make sure you're notified for YouTube that the notifications are set to on, so you'll get those notifications there. Well, until next time, I love you all. Remember, readers are leaders, and as adults, sometimes you gotta tune into some good fiction, and that is what we're reading this week, is a good wholesome fiction book. So until next time, I hope you like the book review with Lady Hell, the interventionist, bringing you into educators and parents with basic interventions that I hope you would like.